Ladies and gentlemen, there is a power that can fill your life with vitality, a secret that can keep your spirit burning with enthusiasm from sunrise to sunset. It's not found in a bottle or in a pill or even in 10 hours of sleep. It's something deeper, stronger, and infinitely more lasting. I'm talking about a kind of energy that begins in the mind, stirs in the soul, and overflows into every part of your being. You've seen people who seem to glow with purpose, who walk into a room and bring light with them. That kind of energy doesn't come from perfect circumstances. It comes from an inner source that you can tap into today. It's not reserved for a chosen few. It's available to anyone who dares to believe that life is more than just getting through the day. You were made to live fully, to rise above fatigue, fear, and frustration. And I want to show you how to find that energy. Not for a moment, not for a day, but for a lifetime. Energy is not just a matter of physical strength. It begins in the mind. If your thoughts are heavy, your body will follow. If your outlook is gloomy, your steps will feel slower, your back will slump, and your heart will grow tired. But when your mind is filled with positive thoughts, when you choose to believe that today holds promise, that you are capable, that with God all things are possible, something changes. You begin to feel stronger even before you lift a finger. That's the hidden power of your mind. Your thoughts are not idle, they are electric. They shape the world around you, and more importantly, they shape the world within you. You have to realize that every time you say, "I can't," you're pulling the plug on your energy. Every time you say, "I'm too tired," or "I'll never get through this," you're feeding your fatigue. But if you shift your thinking, even slightly, and say instead, "I'll try," or "I've got what it takes," or "God will give me the strength," suddenly the energy begins to return. It might not come in a flood at first, but you will feel it. Like a warm current, it rises from within. The mind is like a battery, charged by faith, drained by doubt. What are you charging it with today? You see, what you dwell on determines how you feel. If you wake up and dwell on your problems, your energy will sag before you even leave the house. But if you wake up and think, "This is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it," you invite power into your day. The people who live with energy aren't the ones who never face difficulty. They are the ones who choose to think differently in the midst of it. They're not superhuman. They're simply choosing thoughts that lift them rather than weigh them down. Even science agrees that the mind affects the body. Stress, fear, and worry weaken your immune system, slow your recovery, and exhaust your reserves. But hope, gratitude, and peace boost your well-being and restore your strength. Isn't that amazing? You don't have to wait for your situation to change to feel better. You can change how you think about it, and that choice made consistently becomes a habit, and that habit becomes a way of life, an energetic, vibrant, purpose-driven life. So if you want more energy, start by watching your thoughts. Guard them. Feed them with hope, not despair, with confidence, not fear, with faith, not doubt. You'll be amazed how much lighter your body feels when your mind is lifted. Keep repeating to yourself the promises of power, not the poison of pessimism. Say to yourself, "I am strong, I am capable, I am full of life." And most of all, remember that your strength is not just your own. It's God working through you. And with that truth in your heart, you will never run out of energy. Faith is not just a belief. It is a force. It is the fuel that drives the human spirit forward when everything else seems empty. When your body is tired, when your plans fall apart, When discouragement whispers in your ear, it is faith that tells you to take another step. It speaks into the silence and says, "You were made for more than this moment." Faith is the fire that burns even when the winds of life try to blow it out. It gives strength to your bones, light to your eyes, and energy to your entire being. When you believe in yourself, you unlock a deeper level of power. When you believe that God is with you, that He is guiding your steps, you are no longer running on your own strength. You are tapping into a greater power that never runs dry. There are people walking through life drained and weary, not because they work too hard, but because they believe too little. Doubt is heavy. It slows you down. It tells you to quit before you even begin. But faith is light. It lifts you. It says, "Try again." It whispers, "You're not alone. You can go farther with 5 ounces of faith than with 50 pounds of fear." Faith is what makes the impossible seem possible. It fuels action, and with action comes more energy. When you step out and believe, even when you don't have all the answers, you will often find that your strength increases as you go. Many people wait to feel energized before they move, but the truth is, energy often comes after you take a step of faith. It meets you in motion. You won't always feel ready. You won't always feel powerful. But if you trust in the purpose God has given you and keep moving forward, strength will rise within you. That's the promise. Those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. Not because their problems disappear, but because their faith lifts them above it all. Faith also connects you to your deepest why. It gives meaning to your effort. It reminds you that you're not just working for survival. You're working for something bigger than yourself. Purpose gives birth to passion, and passion brings energy. When you live with faith in your purpose, you don't burn out, you burn bright. You live with drive, you wake up with hope, you move with confidence, and people will notice. They'll see something in your eyes, hear something in your voice, and feel something in your presence. That something is faith. So if you're tired, discouraged, or running low, don't just look for rest. Look for belief. Reignite your faith. Believe that God is for you. Believe that your life has value. Believe that you were made to overcome. Faith is not just the fuel of energy. It is the source of it. And when you have it, you'll never run dry. Worry is one of the greatest thieves of energy. It slips quietly into your mind and begins to work against you, tightening your chest, clouding your thoughts, and exhausting your strength. It doesn't solve problems. It multiplies them. Worry creates pressure where there could be peace. It's a silent drain, pulling away your focus, your joy, and your vitality. You may not even notice it at first, but over time, worry takes a deep toll. You feel tired, even if you haven't done much. You feel scattered, even if you've tried to plan. That's the power of worry. It wears you out from the inside. But there is a better way, a way that doesn't just relieve your mind, but renews your energy. That way is prayer. Prayer is not just a religious duty. It is a divine exchange. It is the moment where you take all your burdens, your fears, your uncertainties, and you place them into hands far more capable than your own. Prayer doesn't always change your situation instantly, but it always changes your spirit. It lifts the weight, it clears the fog, it calms the storm within, and in that peace, energy begins to return. You feel lighter, stronger, more centered. When you pray, you stop fighting alone. You stop carrying everything on your back. You admit, "I can't do this all by myself." And in that moment of humility, strength flows in. God doesn't want you to be anxious. He wants you to be connected to Him. Prayer is the bridge between your weakness and His power. It brings perspective. It reminds you of what truly matters. Often, what we worry about most is not as heavy as it feels. Prayer opens your eyes to that truth. It replaces panic with peace, stress with stillness. Some people believe they're too busy to pray, but the truth is, they're too busy not to pray. The more pressure you feel, the more essential prayer becomes. Even a few quiet moments of surrender can restore your spirit. A simple, heartfelt prayer like, "Lord, I trust you," or "Guide me through this," can transform your entire day. It shifts your mind from tension to trust, from control to calm. Worry says, "What if it all falls apart?" Prayer says, "Even if it does, I will be held." And when your mind is at peace, your body follows. You'll sleep better, breathe deeper, walk taller. You'll find yourself speaking with more kindness, acting with more patience, and thinking with more clarity. That is the fruit of a prayerful life. It is not weakness. It is the greatest strength of all. So when worry knocks, don't answer with more worry. Answer with prayer. Let your soul rest in the assurance that you are not alone, that you are loved, guided, and sustained. Let prayer be your power source. Because when you pray, you don't just survive, you rise. You move forward with peace in your heart and energy in your step. There is something remarkable that happens when you begin to live for a purpose greater than yourself. The fatigue you once felt, the heaviness that once slowed your every step, begins to lift. You start to feel alive again. You wake up with a reason. You move with direction. You act with passion. Purpose is powerful. It fuels your energy in a way that sleep, coffee, or rest never can. When you're living for something meaningful, something that touches more than just your own life, you tap into an endless supply of motivation that pushes you forward even in the toughest moments. Many people feel tired not because they're doing too much, but because they're doing too little of what truly matters to them. They go through the motions, check off the boxes, and follow a routine that doesn't inspire them. That kind of living drains the soul. But when you find something worth giving your life to, whether it's helping others, creating beauty, sharing love, serving God, you'll find that your energy multiplies. You don't dread the day ahead, you embrace it. You no longer ask, "How much longer do I have to do this?" Instead, you ask, "How far can I go?" Purpose gives your pain meaning. It gives your effort significance. When you're working for something bigger than yourself, even the challenges become opportunities. You start to see obstacles not as reasons to quit, but as reasons to grow. That shift in perspective lifts your entire being. You find strength you didn't know you had. You discover endurance that surprises even you, and others begin to feel it too. Purpose-driven people radiate something different. They inspire hope, and that hope becomes contagious. The beautiful truth is this: when you serve something greater, you become greater. Your spirit expands, your life deepens. You realize that life is not about taking as much as you can, but about giving as much as you can. And in that giving, your soul is filled. You're not just adding tasks to your day. You're adding meaning to your life, and meaning is what sustains you when everything else feels hard. So if you feel drained, lost, or weary, ask yourself, what am I living for? Look beyond the surface. Dig deep into your heart. What moves you? What do you care about so deeply that it brings tears to your eyes and fire to your spirit? Start moving in that direction. Start building a life around that purpose. You'll find that the more you give yourself to it, the more energy flows through you, not from the outside, but from within. Because when your purpose is greater than your problems, your passion becomes greater than your pain. You won't just have the strength to endure, you'll have the power to thrive. And that's when life truly begins. Every day brings its own set of challenges, pressures, and demands. From the moment you wake up, your mind is bombarded with thoughts, responsibilities, distractions, and decision. Over time, this constant mental activity begins to wear you down, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. That's why it is absolutely essential to build time into each day for spiritual and mental renewal. Just as your body needs rest each night to repair and restore itself, your mind and soul need quiet moments to breathe, to reflect, and to reconnect with what truly matters. Without these moments, stress piles up, focus fades, and energy slips away almost unnoticed. You cannot pour from an empty cup. If you want to live a life full of purpose, power, and peace, you must make it a daily habit to step away from the noise and listen to the still, small voice within. Even 5 or 10 minutes of calm reflection can make a powerful difference. In that quiet time, whether it's prayer, meditation, or simply deep, focused breathing, you create space for renewal. You step outside the chaos and step into the presence of peace. You don't need a perfect place or perfect conditions. All you need is the willingness to pause, to be still, and to open your heart. When you create a daily rhythm of renewal, you begin to notice changes. Your thoughts become clearer, your reactions become calmer, your choices become wiser. Instead of being led by anxiety or driven by pressure, you start moving from a place of centered strength. You no longer simply react to life. You respond with intention. You begin your day not in a rush, but in a posture of peace. And that peace becomes your foundation, giving you energy that lasts long after the world starts pulling at you again. This is not just a habit, it's a lifestyle. It is the choice to prioritize your inner world so that you can better face the outer one. Life will always be busy. There will always be emails, phone calls, tasks, and people needing your attention. But if you don't make time for your own soul, no one else will. Renewal isn't a luxury, it's a necessity, and the good news is it's available to you right now. You don't have to wait for the weekend. You don't have to travel far. You simply need to close your eyes, quiet your thoughts, and return to the source of your strength. When you begin to live this way, you stop running on empty. You begin to live from overflow. You're not just trying to keep up. You're setting the pace. You're not just surviving. You're thriving. That's the power of daily renewal. It grounds you. It guides you. It gives you fresh energy for whatever lies ahead. And most of all, it reminds you that no matter how loud the world gets, there is always a place of stillness where your spirit can be made new. The people you allow into your life shape your energy, your mindset, and ultimately your direction. Whether you realize it or not, every conversation, every interaction, every shared space has an impact on your spirit. Some people lift you up just by being near them. Their words inspire you, their presence strengthens you, their faith stirs something powerful inside of you. And then there are others who, without even meaning to, leave you feeling drained. They complain, they criticize, they doubt, and they pass along their fears like it's a gift. If you want to have constant energy and keep your spirit vibrant, you must be intentional about who and what you surround yourself with. There is a spiritual atmosphere around people. Some carry light, Others carry weight. Some walk in hoe. Others drag the burden of bitterness. If you're always surrounded by those who speak of what can't be done, who dwell in negativity, or who treat dreams as foolish things, it's only a matter of time before that spirit starts to affect your own. But when you walk with those who speak life, who believe in the best, who trust in God's power and purpose, you feel something different. You feel encouraged, you feel alive, you feel more capable than before. That's not a coincidence. It's a principle. Iron sharpens iron. Light attracts light. You rise or fall to the level of the company you keep. If you want to keep your energy high, your faith strong, and your vision clear, then fill your circle with those who reflect the light you seek. Look for people who celebrate your progress, not envy it. People who tell you you can when the world says you can't. People who remind you of who you are when you forget. That kind of support is not just helpful, it's powerful. It's energizing. The same principle applies to your environment. What do you listen to every day? What do you watch? What voices are speaking into your heart? Are they pushing you forward or pulling you back? Are they building you up or breaking you down? You must become a guardian of your atmosphere. Fill your space with things that remind you of truth, of hope, of joy. Read words that lift your soul. Listen to messages that stir your faith. Choose beauty over noise, inspiration over entertainment, clarity over clutter. You don't need perfect people around you, but you do need people with a positive spirit. You don't need a silent world, but you do need to protect your peace. Because your energy is a sacred thing. It fuels your purpose. And when you protect it, you protect the best of yourself. Surround yourself with people and places that breathe life into you. Make it a habit to seek light and speak light. In doing so, you will find that energy is not something you chase. It's something you choose. Your words are more powerful than you realize. They are not just sounds you make. They are declarations that shape your mind, your emotions, and even your physical energy. Every time you speak, you are either feeding your strength or feeding your weakness. When you say, "I can't do this," your body believes it. Your spirit starts to shrink. Your mind shuts down possibilities. But when you say, "I can handle this," or "I will get through this," something inside you rises, your energy increases, your confidence builds, your mind begins to open up to solutions instead of being overwhelmed by problems. That's the unseen power of your words. What you say sets the tone for how you live. Speak defeat, and your steps will be heavy. Speak faith, and your steps will be strong. Words are like seeds. If you plant seeds of hope, courage, and belief, you will harvest energy, drive, and purpose. But if you keep planting seeds of fear, doubt, and frustration, you will reap discouragement and fatigue. That's why it's so important to be aware of what you say about yourself, your life, and your future. Don't let careless negative words become your daily language. Speak life, speak strength, speak power. When you say things like, "I am tired, I'm overwhelmed, I'll never make it," you are programming your mind and body to accept defeat. But when you speak words of victory, "I am strong, I am full of purpose, I have what it takes," your body and spirit align with those truths. Even when you don't feel strong, even when the circumstances don't look hopeful, speak what you want to see, not just what you do see. That's not denial, it's direction. It's choosing to lead your life with words of purpose, not words of despair. And when you bring God into your words, the power multiplies. Saying, "With God, all things are possible," is not just a spiritual phrase. It's a bold declaration that shifts your focus from what you can't do to what God can do through you. It invites divine energy into your efforts. It reminds you that you are not walking alone. Speak His promises over your life. Say, I am more than a conqueror. Say, He gives strength to the weary. Say, I will not grow tired in doing good, for in due time I will reap a harvest. Make it your daily habit to declare power over your life. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Say it in the morning before the challenges come. Say it in the middle of stress. Say it when you're feeling weak. Let your words build your strength from the inside out. Energy isn't just physical. It's deeply spiritual and emotional. And one of the greatest ways to renew it is to speak words that breathe life into your soul. Say it with faith. Say it with conviction. And then walk in the strength those words create. Gratitude is one of the most powerful sources of energy you will ever discover. When you train your mind to focus on what is good, what is working, what is beautiful in your life, something begins to shift inside you. You rise above frustration, you quiet the voice of complaint, and you begin to feel lighter, more hopeful, more alive. It's not because your problems have disappeared, it's because your perspective has changed. A thankful heart creates room for joy, and joy is a tremendous energy booster. When your heart is full of appreciation, your spirit is lifted, and your body follows. Many people are tired not because they've done too much, but because they've focused too long on what's missing, what's broken, what hasn't gone their way. That kind of mindset drains you. It weighs you down. It turns small setbacks into heavy burdens. But when you begin each day with gratitude, when you make it a habit to notice even the smallest blessings, your entire outlook becomes brighter. You see with clearer eyes. You move with a lighter step. You start to expect good things instead of fearing the worst. And that expectation fuels your motivation, your enthusiasm, and your creativity. Gratitude opens the door to abundance. It multiplies what you have, not by changing the quantity, but by changing the quality of your awareness. You begin to see gifts where others see problems. You begin to notice opportunities where others see dead ends. You find strength in places you didn't know existed because your heart is tuned to the frequency of hope. And hope is a powerful energizer. It keeps you moving. It keeps you believing. It keeps you pressing forward with grace and confidence. You don't have to wait for everything to be perfect to be grateful. In fact, the most powerful gratitude is often found right in the middle of the struggle. It says, I may not have everything I want, but I have more than enough to be thankful for today. That kind of heart draws strength from heaven. It gives you peace in the midst of pressure. It helps you see that even in the mess there is meaning. Even in the waiting there is purpose. And even in the difficulty there is growth. Make gratitude a daily discipline. Write it down. Speak it out loud. Let your words and thoughts be seasoned with thanksgiving. Thank God for your breath, for your mind, for your family, for your calling, for another chance to live and grow and give. The more you give thanks, the more strength you will feel rising within you. Because when your heart is thankful, your energy is renewed, your focus sharpens, your attitude uplifts, and your spirit becomes unshakable. Gratitude doesn't just feel good. It does good. It empowers you to live your day not with heaviness, but with joy, purpose, and unstoppable energy. Energy is not something you always feel before you begin. It is something that begins to build the moment you take action. One of the biggest misunderstandings people have is thinking they need to feel motivated before they can get started. But the truth is, motivation often comes after movement, not before. When you sit and wait for the right feeling, the right mood, or the perfect moment, time slips away and energy drains. But when you rise, when you take a step, no matter how small, something awakens within you. Movement creates momentum, and momentum generates energy. Think of it like starting a fire. You don't wait for warmth before you gather wood and strike the spark. You take action first, and the heat follows. The same is true in your life. Don't wait to feel inspired. Just begin. Start walking, start working, start moving. Your body responds to your choices. The moment you engage physically, mentally, emotionally, your entire system begins to wake up. Blood flows, ideas come, and your spirit begins to lift. Even if you start with low energy, the act of doing will breathe life into you. Many people live in a cycle of delay, waiting to feel ready before they act. But successful people, energized people, understand a deeper truth. Readiness is often a result, not a requirement. If you only move when you feel like it, you'll rarely move. But when you act in faith, when you trust that energy will come, it almost always does. One small decision to move can break the power of lethargy. It tells your mind, your body, your spirit, we're not staying stuck. That single step leads to another, and before long, you're flowing in the rhythm of progress. You don't have to climb a mountain all at once. Just take one step, wash the dish, make the call, write the sentence, stretch your body, walk for 5 minutes. Take that one action and let that movement ignite something greater. Action speaks louder than excuses. It speaks to the part of you that remembers you were made to move, made to create, made to live with vitality. God designed you to be active, purposeful, and growing. The enemy of your energy is stagnation. It's in sitting too long, thinking too much, doubting too deeply. But the moment you decide to rise, to do something, even while tired, a powerful shift begins. Action overcomes apathy. Movement breaks the hold of fear. And as you move, you meet strength you didn't know you had. Don't wait to feel full of energy. Start acting like someone who has it. Move like someone with purpose. Think like someone with hope. Speak like someone with life. And soon your actions will align with the strength that is already available to you. Because energy doesn't always come before the task, it often comes through the task. And when you take that first step, the path begins to light up. Rest is not a sign of weakness, and it's certainly not laziness. It is a sacred act of preparation, a necessary rhythm for a life of true energy and effectiveness. In a world that constantly glorifies hustle, non-stop activity, and being on all the time, we've forgotten that real strength is built in the quiet moments. Even God, after creating the heavens and the earth, took time to rest. That alone should tell us something powerful. If rest was important enough for the Creator of the universe, how much more essential is it for us? You are not a machine. You are a living, breathing soul with emotional, spiritual, and physical limits. And when you push those limits without pausing, you don't gain more. You lose more. You lose clarity. You lose joy. You lose your ability to be fully present. But when you rest with intention, you restore not only your body, but your perspective. Rest clears the fog, calms the storm inside, and fills the well that life so often drains. It gives you back the energy that constant motion slowly steals away. Rest prepares you for what's next. It's the quiet that strengthens you for the battle. It's the pause that empowers the performance. It's the breath before the breakthrough. Far from being passive, rest is active renewal. It's where you meet God in stillness. It's where your soul has room to heal. It's where inspiration returns and stress begins to melt. Some of the most important progress you'll ever make will happen in moments of rest, because that's when your spirit finally gets the chance to speak, to listen, and to grow. This is not about taking a vacation once a year. It's about building moments of recovery into your daily life. It can be as simple as stepping outside to breathe, turning off your phone to read, or closing your eyes in quiet prayer. Even a few minutes of deep rest can shift your entire outlook. The goal isn't to escape life, but to engage it more fully. And you can only do that when your tank is full. Let go of the guilt that says you always have to be producing. Let go of the false belief that rest makes you lazy. In truth, rest makes you wise. It makes you more effective. It makes you last. Without rest, you burn out. With rest, you light up with energy that lasts longer and shines brighter. Rest isn't stepping away from purpose, it's stepping into it with strength. When you honor the need for rest, you honor your design, and when you return from that rest, you'll find that you're not just recharged, you're realigned. You'll be able to see more clearly, move more confidently, and serve more powerfully. So give yourself permission to pause. Let rest be your reset, and you'll discover that the quietest moments often lead to the greatest strength. And remember this: when your mind is calm, your heart is grateful, and your spirit is rested, there is no limit to the strength God can pour into your life. So go forward with faith and let His power renew you daily.